Siobhan, just heartbreaking, isn't it, what these parents have had to say?
It really is, and this is the first time that parents of Elsie, Stancombe and Bebe King have spoken out. They have spoken largely about who their daughters were. They've given us some colour of their little girls, explaining that before this Taylor Swift-inspired dance class, these two girls didn't know each other, but after learning more about each other's daughters, they strongly believe that they could have been friends because many similar words were used to describe them. For example, both Elsie and Bebe were known to be confident, happy and emotionally intelligent girls. There was a really nice bit in there where David, the father of Elsie, speaks about the fact that Elsie never liked for her parents to be alone, and if David was out emptying the bin, she would volunteer to go along with him. It was the same sentiments for Bebe King as well. The parents for Bebe were not named due to a court order, but they speak of Bebe also being confident, articulate, with a great sense of humour. They spoke about taking her to see the Wicked musical and how excited she was to see the film. Of course, that film came out in November, so that was 4 months after the attack. It really brought the attention to 2 of 3 of the little girls that sadly died in those awful attacks in Southport.
Yeah, lovely to hear a little bit more about their young lives, but so desperately sad. And what have the parents had to say about how the case was handled?
Well, interestingly, the reason this is the first time the parents have spoken out is largely due to the way this case was handled. Of course, many people were expecting for there to be a trial. However, Elsie pleaded guilty, which meant that there wasn't a long trial. Both of the parents, though, say that they felt that the sentencing remarks should not have necessarily be broadcast live, as we are aware, some of that detail was extremely graphic. We have some quotes which I can share with you now, speaking about after they learned of the news that it wasn't going to trial and that a plea would have been made. We have a statement from David Stancombe. It's a part of this Sunday Times article where he says that there was a moment and a little bit of hope that none of it was going to come out. Then there was a phone call that night off the liaison officer saying, "We need to tell you because it's all going to come out." And then we were like, what? It comes as the court had heard a summary of the prosecution's evidence, along with some of the sentencing remarks, which I say was very graphic. Neither parents agreed that it should have been broadcast live. We heard also from Bebe's father, who said, "We know it had to be heard in court, but why did the whole nation need to see it on television?" Now, this comes as the government has agreed that there is going to be a public inquiry looking at the handling of this case and what could have been done to prevent this taking place in the first place. Both of the parents in this article say that they do agree with this and will support a public national inquiry.